People keep asking me about the astrology of the second moon, okay, the baby moon. As a person who wears meteorites for jewelry, I think it might be time we talk about it. It's already technically in our orbit. It starts September 29th. I'm filming this September 30th, and it's gonna leave November 25th. Something I think is kind of interesting about this is that Pluto's gonna go direct while we have this mini moon, so will Saturn. And Pluto is gonna be in a sign that is ruled by Saturn, Capricorn. Now, why would that be important? Capricorn literally has to do with the systems that we cannot avoid, such as a random flying object coming towards the Earth. Although it would technically be more of an Aquarius thing because it's like exiting the system that we normally are in versus just being in the solar system without those random flying objects. That's going to be more Capricorn. So what does that translate to? Probably weird stuff is going to happen. Think about the normal systems that you have in your life, your job, your friend, online communities and spaces, workout routines, okay? Do you go to the gym? Do you have your life as a system? Look at your life as a system, all right? Its own little mini solar system. What do you have going on? Probably there's gonna be some weird stuff that enters the atmosphere of those spaces. Oh, there's just a random new person? What are you gonna do with them? Oh, there's just a random opportunity? Probably with the mini moon, the baby moon, that makes sense to me that weird stuff would start to happen. You're telling me that we're gonna have a random flying object hurtling towards the Earth that's gonna be closer to us than the moon? Also, the fact that it's cutting in between the moon and Earth is very interesting to me because the moon in astrological studies and astrology is what rules our water and our emotions. We're also in the middle of the eclipses right now. Okay, October 2nd, we have an eclipse. It's a new moon solar eclipse in Libra. We're in eclipse season, which means moon magic is heightened. Not to be frightened that it's heightened, it's just like unexpected stuff happens during eclipse season, regardless of there being an extra moon. So I think we're probably gonna see some interruptions with our emotions. Also, Mars is in Cancer right now, which is ruled by the moon. This is a time to really discern if the interruptions in your life are going to be harmful and hazardous or not, especially when it comes to your emotions. And with a Chiron retrograde right now in Aries where the North Node is, and we have the dark moon that's being activated in Libra with this eclipse on October 2nd, there's a lot of really possibly deep-seated, traumatic, harmful things that we've experienced in our lives that are being brought back up to the surface right now so they can be triggered and then also be healed. And then we have an extra moon. I just think it's gonna get weird for a minute. I just think it's gonna get weird. I think there's gonna be random stuff that happens in your daily life and in the systems that you're involved in your daily life. I think there's gonna be weird emotional things that start to come up, stuff you never thought would happen, or stuff that maybe you didn't want to happen, or you start to realize stuff about the stuff that's already happened. Looking at different parts of your life, realizing, oh, that's why I went through that emotional thing, and it could have been so different, but it wasn't. This also sort of reminds me of the fortune placement in astrology. And the fortune placement represents being at the right place at the right time. However, it moves very swiftly throughout the chart and throughout the day. So if you're not able to identify kind of right then and there that it's the right place at the right time, then the winds of fate and the winds of change are probably going to pick it up and move it along. So being able to identify it is really important. And being able to identify kind of the weird stuff that's coming around you to be rotated around you with this astrological happening, if you're able to identify that weird stuff that comes to orbit around you for a moment and you want it to stick around, it might not want to, okay? Because that's part of what's happening in the order of this is it's going to rotate and then it's going to leave the mini moon. And then we're just still going to have a moon. So that is. But if you were able to notice it and you wanted to keep it in your orbit, metaphorically, okay? There's a random person that comes into your life and you want to keep them into the orbit, or you're looking at those structures and systems and there's just random stuff that's coming to orbit around you that wouldn't normally be there. You kind of realize, oh, I do want this around. Then you could keep it, bringing something new into your orbit in addition to your system. Do I think it's likely that most of that stuff is going to stay around for a long time? No. Do I think it's possible? For sure. Do with that information what you want to. That's my interpretation of it. Like I said, people keep asking me, so I figured I would give my take on it. Happy eclipse season. Happy mini moon. Gratitude, reverence, and love to you. Keep up doing what you need to do. Keep up your brew. And I'll talk to you soon.